Welcome back to Moving to Hampton Roads. If you're PCSing the Langley Air Force Base and you're looking for an awesome place to live with pretty affordable housing, it's also close to beaches and a lot to do, then you need to check out Fox Hill, which is a region in Hampton that I think you are going to love and is especially great if you're stationed at Langley. Stick around and I'm going to show you all around Fox Hill. All right, so in today's video, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you all around this greater region that we call Fox Hill. Now, right behind me is the sign to enter what the locals call Fox Hill. So if you live down this road right here, which is Beach Road, this is official Fox Hill, and that's where the people who have lived here for generations, they'll tell you this is Fox Hill. But really, I think everyone else considers this greater area that you see here on the map. I think we consider this to really be Fox Hill. If someone says, oh, where do you live? Oh, I live down the Fox Hill area. This is really what they're talking about, not necessarily right down Beach Road here. So we're gonna go and we're gonna take a look at a bunch of different neighborhoods within Fox Hill. I'm gonna show you around each one of them. We'll drive around, talk about each one, give you a feel for it. And then I'll also be sure to take you down to the two beaches that are right here. So you're gonna be able to go down to Grandview Beach. I'll show you what that is like, as well as Buckroe Beach. And then we'll also show you what's going on Mercury Boulevard. There's a ton of shopping and dining and big kind of mall going on there. So there's just a whole lot happening in this region. And that's what makes it so special. So this is Fox Hill. It is an awesome place to live. And the really great thing that makes it great for, if you're at Langley, is that there is an entrance to Langley Air Force Base here off of North King Street. So right here on the map, you can see the highlighted area. That is the North King Street entrance to Langley Air Force Base. And while North King Street isn't particularly nice, so we're not really going to go there, it does mean that you can shoot out of these neighborhoods and be right there and then be right on base in a matter of minutes. So it is really cool local spot, and I think you're really going to like a whole lot that we have going on here. So let's get to it and go check out our first neighborhood. Okay, we're starting off in our first neighborhood, and this is Willow Oaks. Now this is one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Hampton, and I really love it. It's a big neighborhood. It's up towards the very front of what we would consider Fox Hill, so it's going to have a lot of good things going for it. Homes in here, you know, you're going to look at 60s and 70s construction, and for the most part, you're looking at anything from like a 3 to 5 bed, maybe 1,400 square feet up to, you know, 3,300. You can get into some pretty big homes here, but for the most part, you're just, I mean, it's a really nice neighborhood. Up at the beginning of this community is a little plaza that has a Harris Teeter grocery store. So your grocery store is right down the street. So that's really cool. And then this neighborhood also has a really nice community pool. There's no HOA here though. So it's fantastic. It's really nice, you know, to have kind of amenities like that. It's got a great neighborhood feel to it. A lot of kids running around. My clients who are in here are just so happy. So really, and you're going to spend anywhere from about $275 up to maybe around, one of the larger homes in here might go for in the low $4s. But you know, if you get something in here for in that like $350 kind of price range, you're going to get a really nice house. And yeah, they're getting a little bit older, but a lot of people here have really cared for their homes well. And you know, this is just a neighborhood where it's filled with mostly homeowners, and you're just going to get really good quality property kind of throughout the whole neighborhood. And yeah, it's a cool place. It's really why I wanted to start right here, because I wanted to see one of my favorites right off the bat. All right, so what we're going to do is we'll drive around, and that's how we'll do each of these. We'll talk for a little bit, and then we'll drive through them so you can see, and that way you can check out kind of what the whole thing looks like. Now we are right across the street in Elizabeth Lake Estate. So we literally just came out of Willow Oaks and went straight across the street into Elizabeth Lake Estates. And for the most part, what we're going to get here is a pretty similar neighborhood. I mean, it's similar ages, it's similar style, very similar price range. You know, it even has these cool little half kind of cul-de-sac looking things, and that's actually kind of where I parked in the last neighborhood. So I love that you just get all these little offshoots. Now, the thing that Elizabeth Lake Estates has is these houses behind me are on the water. So these guys back here. So anything that you see kind of back along here is going to be kind of waterfront. There's the Hampton River runs up and kind of finishes in this neighborhood, and it's almost more like canal water. So, and then there is kind of like a lake kind of looking area down at the end. But for the most part, you know, there's not a whole lot to talk about in this neighborhood because it is directly across the street from where we just were. It is similar size homes, similar priced homes. It is similar age homes. In fact, they're really very, very similar communities. I would say the only difference here is Elizabeth Lake Estates has a little bit more of an open feel to it. So that's one of the things I like about this neighborhood is that, you know, I think maybe just some homeowners have taken down a few more trees and have really embraced kind of the coastal aspect to it. You might see a couple of palm trees in this neighborhood, you know, and but for the most part, very similar. Love that it has sidewalks. We don't have a lot of neighborhoods, especially the older neighborhoods, don't have sidewalks in Hampton roads. It's like we need sidewalks. So anytime you can find a neighborhood where you can walk safely, I know having a small child, having dogs that I walk every day, that, you know, I don't have sidewalks in my neighborhood, and having something like this would be a big, you know, I think it would be a big benefit to me. So anyhow, let's drive around. Oh, we have done a full video on this neighborhood in the past. So if you want to watch like a really extensive video on this one neighborhood, you can click up in the corner and we'll make sure that's right there. So you can go check that out. And then probably at the end of the video, we'll put one of those little cards up at the end that you can, so you can check that out as well and just fully explore this entire neighborhood. But let's take that quick drive through and then we'll get to our next spot. Alrighty, we're in our next neighborhood of Phillips Lakes. Now, we are actually closer to Mercury Boulevard in this neighborhood on the same side of the street as Elizabeth Lake. So really, it's just the next neighborhood over. The benefit of this neighborhood is that it is newer. So you're looking at like 1990, 1991 construction versus where we were before. That was a lot of like 60s and 70s. So that's really the big benefit. This is also a much smaller community, you know, but you're going to have homes that may be more similar to what you've owned in other parts of the country if they're not kind of as old as Hampton is. I mean, Hampton is a 400-year-old city, so the fact that we have homes that are 1960s and 70s is that's new compared to the city. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's gonna be really tough to see through there, but the lake is really right there. It's the end of the Hampton River, so there are waterfront opportunities here. And really the only change between the other two neighborhoods we saw in this one is just the age of the homes. You know, you're really just looking at newer homes, not new, but newer. And you're still looking at similar price point, overall similar size. And yeah, and then when we drive around, you'll get a feel for all of it. And then we'll finish up in an area that actually just has this section where the houses are just kind of like a step above. So I don't want to say those are the normal, which is why we're not in them right now, but you got to check out like the last kind of dozen or so homes. They're just kind of a little newer, a little nicer, and they're really cool. So I was also hoping to get you some good shot of the water, but unfortunately I couldn't get a neighbor to let me go through their backyard, and there's no public access to it right here. So but there are probably 40 or so homes that are waterfront in this neighborhood. So really cool, smaller neighborhood, still has access to everything else. So let's drive around, and then we'll keep moving. Now we're down the street about a half a mile or so in a neighborhood called Foxbridge. And this is really going to cater to people looking for that starter home. You know, max price in this neighborhood you're going to pay is about $350,000. So this is really filled with a lot of like brick ranch, you know, 900 square foot to, you know, 2,000 square foot. There are some homes that are two-story that are a little bit bigger than that. You know, you're going to get your 3-bed, 1-bath. That's maybe only 900 square feet, you know, but you'll find bigger than that too. So, you know, it just depends on really what you're looking for, but you can find a good little affordable home. You know, homes that are move-in ready in this neighborhood start at like 200,000, and that's about as low as you're going to get in a good neighborhood in Hampton. So, you know, this is a cool neighborhood. There are a lot of people who've been here for a very long time. You know, I've just sold a couple of properties in this neighborhood where the people had been here for like 30, 40 years. So it is a neighborhood that people can stay at for a long time. But at the same time, you know, if you're young, you're military, you want to come in, get that starter home, great rental community. You can use this to pick up that first home and then keep it, rent it out. It's a really good neighborhood for doing something like that. So yeah, and of course you can tell just by the construction, you know, the 50s, 60s, and into they kept building until almost the 80s. So, you know, there's a lot of variation in the age of this neighborhood, but mostly anticipate something like a 1960s ranch. And there are a bunch of 2-stories in here too that you'll see, especially at the back end of the neighborhood. where the bigger houses are. So we'll drive through, check it out. Okay, and now we're in Colonial Acres, and this is definitely a step-up type neighborhood. And by that, I just mean the houses here are going to be bigger, a little bit more expensive. So really, you're looking at, you know, you can get in here around like 1,500 square feet at, you know, 300, but for the most part, you're looking at a lot more homes that are going to be in the 2,000, you know, square foot plus range, and you're going to be looking at homes that, you know, all of these homes here, they're all on the water. So there's a canal that runs right back through here, and the neighborhood kind of wraps around it. So you're looking at a lot of waterfront. There are going to be some big homes down at the end that are going to be like 4,000 square feet. And those might sell for $650,000, $750,000. So you can get in this neighborhood, you know, a really big, really beautiful house. But for the most part, most people aren't buying their starter home in Colonial Acres. This is definitely a neighborhood where, you know, you sell the starter home, you rent it out, you put your down payment on a big, beautiful house like this. So this is a really great place to be. Great atmosphere. You know, when we get down, when we're driving, you won't see while we're walking, but when we're driving, you'll be able to see the marina, Salt Ponds Marina through the water there. Fast access to Buckroe Beach. So you can be on the beach, you can be on your boat. There's, you know, jet skis, kayaking, canoeing. This is a really fun, active neighborhood. This is one of those, it's a little kind of off the beaten path, a little too. So it's kind of hard to get back here if you don't really know where you're going or you don't know that it's here. So certainly a neighborhood where if you're really looking for like a really nice kind of high quality neighborhood, then this is where I'd want to be. Colonial Acres, awesome spot, you know, really in kind of the heart of Fox Hill. Okay, now we're in Southall Landing, and this is about as nice a neighborhood as you're gonna find in the city of Hampton. These are all big, beautiful homes, you know, just it's pretty much the luxury community in Hampton. Now, what you're gonna find though are still extraordinary values. Even the big houses in here only go for like the mid fives. You know, if you wanted to buy a similar style house to what we're gonna see here, you could do this in like York County. And because I know if you're PCSing to Langley, a lot of people are going to tell you to go to York County, and rightfully so. York County is amazing, schools, all that. But you're going to spend $150,000 less in this neighborhood than you would there. So maybe if you're past the point where your kids are in the schools, or you're really just looking for the value, you want to do private school, anything like that, you know, whatever the situation may be, this is just an absolute stunner of a neighborhood. Now down there are, so you got to go down this road and to the right, there are condos here. They're like townhouse style condos. If you're military and you're moving to the area, they're beautiful. There's marina, pools. It's got all these amenities. We're not going to go there because for the sake of this video, I can't recommend it for this style of buyer that I'm making this video for. $570 a month association dues associated with the community. They had a problem with their siding 12 years ago, something like that. And the whole place had to be redone. It's cost everybody an arm and a leg ever since. And so for me, I can't recommend the condos, but the single family side, I love. I mean, this neighborhood is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to stop talking. Well, actually, I'm not going to stop talking. What I do want to mention first is something we haven't talked about yet, and that's flood insurance. So really, this whole area, so especially once you get past that kind of Fox Hill sign where I started off the video, flood insurance. Almost every house is going to be required to have flood insurance. So that's really important to know. Now, where we started the first couple of neighborhoods we did today, some, but not all. So you're going to see some homes need flood insurance, some homes don't. And so I wanted to make sure I said that in this video. Probably should have said it earlier, but never too late. So just keep in mind, flood insurance is going to be a requirement in a lot of these neighborhoods that we're looking at today, and we'll just have to check house by house. Okay, now we are located right behind that sign where I started the video. So we're in like official Fox Hill, and we're in a neighborhood that's called Hallwood. So that's its official name. Nobody really, there's like no sign or anything that tells you you're in this neighborhood. But this is another one of those starter home type neighborhoods where you're really looking at homes that are like anywhere from 950 square feet to about 2,200 square feet. In fact, that might be the biggest house in the neighborhood right there. So really, for the most part, just expect, you know, you're going to be able to get into this neighborhood for as low as like 185, 200, you know, for a pretty outdated home that you could move into. So they started building in this neighborhood in like 1950. So everything here is like 1950 to 1965. But, you're not really going to go much above 300,000 in this neighborhood. So, we're down in like official Fox Hill now, and there's just a different vibe down here. It's very much kind of the area where people kind of do what they want when they want sort of place. So we're going to spend the rest of the video working our way down Beach Road. We may just drive a little bit, and I might just drive through. But this is also kind of where I mentioned in the last segment, flood insurance. Now we really are in a point where pretty much every house from this point forward is going to require some amount of flood insurance. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, if you kind of want to do your own thing and you are looking for a great value, you got to add that flood insurance payment on. That might be an extra $500 to $1,500, give or take every year that you got to add on to your total payment. But this could be a really cool place. And now we're going to be at the point where really, once you're on Beach Road, you're looking at about a 5-minute drive down to like Grandview Beach and stuff. So if that's kind of more what you're looking for, then this could be a really good fit for you. All right, let's drive through like we have all the other neighborhoods, and you can check out the whole thing. Alrighty, now we're in Beach Road Estates, and this is going to be our second to last neighborhood for the day because I am drenched in sweat. It's about 92 degrees today and crazy humid. It's mid-August, and this neighborhood, we're about, I don't know, half mile to a mile down the road from where we just were, but as you can see, clear step-up neighborhood from there, much newer. We're looking at that, early 90s construction again, but it's also where you start to get a little bit more of a beach vibe. You've got multiple neighbors you got the lighthouses in your front yard. I'm a lighthouse guy, so that's big for me. But this neighborhood has a great feel to it. You're going to spend anywhere from about $275,000 to around $400,000 in this neighborhood. You can get a starter home for it's around 1,400 square feet at the low point. And you could be looking around 2,500 square feet for one of the larger homes in here. So really just a very easygoing suburban neighborhood, not too far from the beach, And yeah, I mean, I'm just going to let the drive through kind of do the speaking for me here on this one, because it's just a really cute, very easy and approachable neighborhood. And I think that anybody who is maybe either looking for that step up, but isn't quite ready to go to like crazy South Hall Landing, where you're looking for the big, expensive brick home, or you are ready for that starter home, but you want to be in a little bit nicer neighborhood, I think this one could be a really good fit for you. Homes don't sell that much in here relative to some other places, so you might, it's going to be whether or not there's something available for you here, but it could be a really good option for you. All right, we're going to head down to Grandview. That's going to be our final neighborhood for the day. And when we get to Grandview, I'll show you that neighborhood, and then I will show you Grandview Beach, or at least the public part of Grandview Beach. Okay, here we are in Grandview. Now, we'll say Grandview isn't really part of Fox Hill. It's kind of its own thing. In fact, it's actually a separate island because as you saw when we were driving through, there's a canal there that really breaks it apart. But this is a really, really unique and fantastic place for Hampton. It is really the only beach community. Now, I'd also say maybe Buckroe as well, but I think this is kind of like the premier beach community here in Hampton. So yeah, I mean, you just have these gorgeous views. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And so really what you're going to look at here are a few different options. So I'm glad I got to have that view to start, because what you have are kind of the old section. You know, you can see circa 1829. So you have the old section of Grandview, and there on that section you can get a place for as little as like 300,000. You know, I mean, for like a smaller place. But then you get over here, you get back to the big guys, you know, and now you're looking at, you know, homes that are typically more in the 5s and 6s, and they go up to around 800,000 for some of the really big homes. So you can really find something in this community that runs the gamut. Now, a few important things here: no official HOA here in Grandview. In fact, why don't I walk down here while we talk about it? No official HOA here in Grandview. So I'm going to take you to the public beach. That's that way back towards where the older houses are. There's a private beach. Private beach, which we'll drive by, is awesome, but you have to pay a $2,000 fee to get one share into the ownership group for the beach. It's all due to this big mess from like 10 years ago. But long story short, you can get access to the private beach. If you want to pay the $2,000, you also have to be a resident. You can't be like, you can't use it for Airbnb or something like that and give people access to the private beach. But everyone will have access to Grandview. So we're not going to go onto the public beach because I'm not allowed. I'm not a shareholder. And but we will but we'll drive by it. You'll see it. When we get there, we're going to be next to this monstrous house that's amazing, and we will stop off. But we're going to finish up by driving over to where Grandview Nature Preserve Beach is, and I'm going to take you down out onto that beach so you can take a look. It is awesome. So it doesn't matter. Anybody can go to that beach. You'll see where we park. I'll show you how the parking works there. So even if you don't live like in the neighborhood and you want to drive in, super easy and cool to get to. But yeah, so whether you want to get, you know, an older place or newer, you're going to have that option here in Grandview. Really special place, kind of out on the outer tip of the region that we consider to be Fox Hill. So let me drive you through. It's going to be a little bit of a longer drive so I can show you the nicer areas. These ones, they're, you know, I'm not going to actually go down this section because these are private drives, and just going to respect their privacy down this way. But, you know, we'll go down over to the other part that has the canals. So you're going to see the canal. There are homes on the canal there. You want to be on the canal, you can do that for like 400 to 600 in that range. And so you can also be on the canal if you have a boat. And that's a better fit for you than being here in one of the kind of like beach houses. All right, so now we are down at Grandview Beach. I'm just showing you the parking real quick. So everybody just parks along this road right here. It's not a super busy beach, so don't think of this like some big fancy public mega beach like Virginia Beach. This is like the exact opposite. Like we'll probably go out there and see 2 people. So right over there are the canals that we drove through. So we just drove past this road, Adriatic, here. So everybody parks here, and then you come down and you've got the entrance here into Grandview. So I'll tell you, when there are dogs allowed here, it's the best place to bring your dogs. I have so many great memories of bringing my first dog, my first golden retriever, Brady, here. We used to play all the time down this way. So it's a really cool spot. Now you've got this long, kind of winding road that's going to take us out to the actual beach. You can see the kind of the marshes come in and everything. So it's a little bit of a hike. So what we're going to do is do the old zoomy fast forward thing, and then I will see you when we get to the beach. Okay, we did it. We made it to the beach. It's a hike out here, but it's totally worth it. As you can see, not a lot of people. Granted, it's a Monday afternoon, so I wouldn't expect that many people, but it is summer. So this is really one of those beaches where people will come out here, and if you just walk about a mile that way, it comes to these jetties that form that are really beautiful. It's really calm weather there, or excuse me, water there. And it's actually where I proposed to my wife. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful places in all of Hampton Roads. It's a really special place to us, but we used to come here all the time, bring our dogs in the off season, throw tennis balls in the water for them, and just have the best time. Now it's a little bit more used now that the other beach is private. So people are using coming here to hang out a little bit more than they used to, but this is it. This is pretty cool little place if you're looking for a little bit of an off the beaten path beach to come hang out with living in Fox Hill. Okay, well, I'm still here at Grandview, but I want to talk to you about Buckroe Beach. So we've mentioned that a couple other times. So if this isn't your vibe, if you are really like, if you don't want to make that walk, like that's a 7-minute walk, I think. So if you don't want to make that walk, you're looking for good parking, you're looking for amenities like bathrooms and, you know, other people and things like that. If you're looking for a place more active, check out Buckroe Beach. It's also very close to everything that we have looked at today. Super easy to get to. This is much more of the, like, I want to get away from people, go to the beach. And Buckroe is much more of the, like, active, like, if you're a teenager and you're looking to, or you have teenagers and they're looking to, you know, do teenager things, that's a good place for them, you know. Grandview is more of a kind of let's get away a little bit sort of place. But yeah, so you're at Buckroe, you're going to get big, expansive views of the Chesapeake Bay, which is basically the Atlantic Ocean. It's so big. And, you know, and it's just a few minutes down the road from where we are now. It's actually more convenient for like Colonial Heritage and a couple of those neighborhoods that we looked at. It's going to be right down the street from there. So you're going to get these big sweeping views, cool pier, little place called like Heaven's Pizza, great place to go get a slice, you know. And it's very, really fun, more interactive sort of beach than this being the nature preserve area. All right, well, let's do this. Let's head on down. We're going to go down Mercury Boulevard. I just want to show you a little bit of the shopping down there so you see what kind of one of the big benefits of living in Fox Hill is. And that'll be it for today's video. Now we're out on Mercury Boulevard, and I really wanted to show you this because it is the main thoroughfare through the city of Hampton that's going to have a lot of the shopping and dining in the city, and it does lead directly to Fox Hill. So you are going to be on this road a lot if you live in Hampton, but it has just about every large box store imaginable, as well as all the chains like past Starbucks, and here's a Red Lobster and a Raising Cane's, and there's pretty much all of that is going to be right here on Mercury Boulevard. Now, a little ways down the street, there's also going to be a Walmart. There's a driving range. There's a nice bowling alley. There's a lot to do right here on Mercury itself. There's a bunch of car dealerships. And really what we're going to end up talking about is Peninsula Town Center at the end, which is a recently built outdoor mall. So recent within about 10 to 12 years. So this is really just a really big road. You cannot live in Hampton without going up and down it about 100 times. And they are going to, they're continuously expanding this in terms of just what's offered here. So this is one of the newest plazas with the Kroger, and then there's Planet Fitness, and there's a huge At Home, which is a big like home furnishing store here. You got your Lowe's right down the street. So Home Depot is actually not too far away, but it's not right on Mercury. This Lowe's is, so this tends to be where anybody coming down to Mercury is going to go do that stuff. And then we head into Peninsula Town Center, and this is really anchored by this big Target right here. So big, very nice Target right here in Hampton. And then just the mall portion itself is going to have, dozens of shops, a bunch of restaurants. It is a really easy, fun place to go to, especially if you're looking for like these smaller chains, like, especially like the grabbing, or I don't want to say grab and go, but like counter order, fast casual, like Five Guys and that kind of stuff. So really great shopping district, bunch of restaurants. I mean, this really has just about everything that you need right here. So pretty cool spot. Sushi King, you can go get your all-you-can-eat sushi and eat 100 pieces of sushi like I do. So that's it. This is Peninsula Town Center, huge part of living in Hampton. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video and you got a lot out of it. I sure did. I got a lot of sweat out of it. I am just drenched. I am now at Chicken Salad Chick, which has become my favorite kind of like fast casual restaurant, like chain restaurant ever. I just love chicken salad sandwiches and they're awesome. So, this video really just kind of touched the surface on what you can do in Fox Hill and where you can live. I mean, it's a huge area. We got in some of my favorite places. There are a bunch that we didn't even get close to covering. So if there is anywhere else that you are interested in taking a look at, just let me know and I can certainly get over to that area and help you take a look. And I really wanted to show you the places where homes are normally available on a regular basis. So that is it for today. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them below and I'll reply right away. And if you are looking to make that move to the area, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. My team and I are here. We would absolutely love to help you out. If you're PCSing to Langley or you're coming to Hampton for any other reason, we're here. And of course, we'd love to help you with your move. In the meantime, don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone else you know who may also be making the move to Hampton, Newport News, or the surrounding area. And of course, subscribe to this channel so you can see more of our videos as we go deeper into the neighborhoods of all of Hampton roads. Okay, my name is David Tortellini. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at the next video.